Welcome, I am Malov Drak, and this is my domain. We are reading Chapter 5 of Prisoner of Insanity, Going Out, by Death is Inevitable. Let us begin. That was not a good note to end on. He had simply said that and left you in the dark. What is it with him? He was so strange. You just didn't understand him sometimes. Hold on a second. Sometimes? What the hell? You barely knew him. Of course, you didn't understand him. You wonder why he was like that, though. You sighed and glanced at the eyeball pointed at you. What are you looking at? You asked. Okay, that was just sick. The eye was just sick. Your sarcasm usually covered up most of your true emotions and opinions, so now it was like a comfort in this hellish meat locker. It was frightening, actually, the whole thing. But you were still glad you were alive. Generally safe, except for the fact that you could easily end up as one of these chunks of meat. What a pleasant thought. You sighed and hung your head limply, closing your eyes and drawing a deep breath. Okay, calm your face. Calm it. You released the breath and stared ahead in the dark. Suddenly, the lights flashed on and Oliver's face was right in your own, scaring the poop out of you. Well, not literally, thank goodness. He was carrying a giant kitchen knife and had an insane air with his wide grin. Ready, puppet? He asked. It depends what for. Damn that stupid stutter. You sounded stupid. He simply laughed and traced your cheek with the flat end of the blade. His eyes now had 4 rings. He was ready to murder you any time now, you could tell. He set down the knife and grabbed your arms, slipping a pair of handcuffs on, then released the first pair. Your arms drooping in front of you limply. You couldn't move your hands apart, but at least they weren't hanging above you now. Oh, great! And look! What the hell is that? He clasped a metal cuff thingy around your neck and held on to the chain. What were you, a dog? Geez, what was going on? Was he going to take you on a walk or something? Let's go, he sang, picking his knife back up and skipping to the door, you frantically running behind as not to be dragged by your neck. Before long, you found yourself in a bank, probably looking like Oliver's new pet. Now, he was not robbing the bank. He simply wanted to kill everyone in there. No hostages. There was a complete lockdown there. The people were assuming he wanted money. Their foolish mistake. No, I don't want your money, he giggled at the woman, desperately throwing money at him. Well, what do you want, then? One man shouted. Oliver tilted his head to the side. I want to play a game. This confused them. What game? A wide smile formed. The death game. We are moving on to Chapter 6. This is now the death game. Strange, I don't remember this chapter from the last time I read it. No, Oliver continued. Which version do you want to play? A usual uneasy silence followed his words. Fine, I'll choose, he giggled and grabbed your hand. Everyone hesitantly formed a circle. The man who grabbed your hand smiled slightly, even though you are a student, and that weirdo was well over Oliver's age. Well, never mind that. Oliver noticed and frowned slightly, one of the rings in his eyes disappearing before he got back to business. Let's go, he exclaimed. Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies. Oh, great. Singing about the Black Death. How great. You just love that. How cheerful. Ashes, ashes, we all fall dead. Everyone fell to the ground, unsure why they were playing this, and unnerved by the last line. Oh! Oliver exclaimed delightedly, pointing at an old man. You fell last! You die first! He suddenly lunged and slit the man's throat, laughing the whole time. A panic spread throughout the crowd. Now, what should we play next? Oliver asked. London Bridge? He took your hands and made everyone line up. No! A woman screamed. I'm not playing this! Is that so? Oliver asked, suddenly silent. He had 5 rings in his eyes. Oh God, run for your life. Animal, like he pulled the woman towards him and stabbed her repeatedly, then made random incisions singing London Bridge in a feverish manner, a smile carved into his face. He turned around and once she fell dead, his eyes searching the room wildly. You next! He yelled, pulling the man from earlier and doing the same thing. At this point, everyone ran. Where are you going? He yelled, stabbing random people who passed by. And you just backed away in terror. This was absolutely insane, and soon everyone was dead. Everyone was dead, except for Oliver and you. I'm going to go on to the next chapter because these are really rather short. This is chapter 7, Rings of Insanity. He stared at you, the 5 pink rings seemingly glowing in the dark. He was breathing hard, his plastered smile slowly fading, and staring at you as if contemplating whether you were prey or not. He tilted his head to the side, still staring and making you uncomfortable. Then he slowly lifted the knife and licked off the blood, not taking his eyes off of you. You shifted a bit, wondering what the heck just happened. Flashes of the past few moments went through your head, the death game, the woman, and the 5 rings in his eyes. Soon the knife was completely clean. He wanted more. But it wasn't the time, not yet. He had to calm his thoughts. He had to calm down his demented bloodlust. He took a deep breath, his mind still foggy, and his heart still racing. After a while, the rings started to disappear. You counted them. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And he blinked a few times, and put away his knife, now acting like an ordinary person. Strange. No rings, ordinary. 5 rings, completely insane. Or at least, that's what you had observed so far. Silently, he grabbed a body and decided he would take it with him, and threw it over his shoulder, as if it wasn't dead weight. He stared at you for a while before grabbing your hand. Let's go, he said quietly, and somehow, unnoticed, you left the bank together. Alright, we will end it here. That was chapters 5, 6, and 7. This story is glorious. You guys should read it for yourself. And you guys should definitely check out Death is Inevitable. He is really pretty cool. And thank you for letting me read this, by the way, Death. I will leave all links in the description, as always. And please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Have fun.